All right, boys, let's pick up where we left off.
Here we go with more of Joe's bullshit opinions.
Eat my ass, Don. My opinions are just as valid as yours.
Yeah, about as valid as all those fraudulent votes you got.
Okay, guys, none of that talk. We didn't mention Double Dash last time, but I think it's an obvious A or B tier.
Jesus Christ, Barack, can you go 5 seconds into this thing without throwing out an outdated opinion on a game you haven't played in over a decade?
Double Dash was a brilliant game. The system of having 2 drivers to 1 cart was genius. And the special carts and items you could only use for specific characters really made your choices feel like they mattered.
Sure, the game was full of good ideas, but the execution just doesn't hold up anymore. The game was outdated as soon as Mario Kart Wii came out.
Trust me, Barry, just because the game was fun when it came out does not mean it's still fun today. These old games are clunky messes.
I disagree, but if you're both so adamant about it, then I'll put it in C tier.
That's fine. I think it should go lower, but if 64 is going to be in D tier, then Double Dash has to be in C tier, I guess.
I still think they both should go down a tier, but whatever. Let's move on.
Either of you play Mario Kart Tour at all?
It's a fucking gotcha game. Of course I haven't played it.
Don't bother. Dog shit game. So fucking bad.
No shit, Joe. All gotcha games are garbage.
Not all gotcha games are bad, but I saw some gameplay of Tour and it did look really bad.
The controls were bad, the gotcha system was bad, and the waifus weren't even that good. At least the original stages and the remakes of stages from old games looked pretty good.
Yeah, from what I saw, the tracks looked pretty nice.
Drop that trash in F tier and let's get on.
Okay, what do you guys think of New Super Mario Bros?
Fine game for what it was. Nothing special, but it wasn't bad.
It's hard to do a mainline Mario game poorly. They're all a solid platforming experience.
So what do you guys think for the tier?
It's a solid C tier.
I think B tier sounds better. It's definitely better than the first 2 games.
I still think the first Super Mario Brothers should move up a tier, but I guess we can put new in B tier.
You guys like Super Mario Maker?
Such a great idea for a game.
Bullshit. It's the lowest effort cash grab I've ever seen. Should have been $15 at the most. So many games these days have level editors for free, but you have to pay the Nintendo tax to get a Mario one for full price. What a fucking joke.
But there's so much potential for fan content. The levels you can play online that other people make are so fun. A lot of them are even more clever and creative than levels in the real games.
I'd still rather just buy a good indie platformer than pay for a bare bones level editor. The original on Wii U barely had much to it anyways. The options for custom levels were atrocious.
I'll give you that. The sequel was definitely a step in player options. But I think the first game was hugely innovative for a AAA company. I think the first game deserves C tier for being original and the sequel should be in B.
I can agree with that.
You fucking losers need to play more indie platformers and you'll realize paying full price for those games was a fucking joke.
Moving on, New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Now that game was classic, so much fun. Took what the DS game did well and brought it to the big screen.
Glad we can agree. Wii was a huge return to form for Super Mario.
Sounds like we're all in agreement. You guys think A tier sounds good?
I don't know if I can justify putting Wii on the same tier as those other games.
I'm with Donnie. Wii was great, but 3 World Galaxy, those are amazing.
Okay, I have an idea.
That works for me.
That looks good.
Next we have Wii U Deluxe.
Not as good as Wii, B or C tier.
It's definitely not on the same tier as 64.
Okay, B tier it is.
You guys really didn't like Wii U Deluxe that much?
It was just more of what Wii was. But after overstaying its welcome, it also just didn't have the same drawing power that Wii had.
Wii had a special charm that Wii U just didn't manage to capture.
I don't see how Wii and Wii U Deluxe were that different, but I guess we can put it in B tier.
So are we just going to ignore the giant elephant in the room?
What do you mean?
We haven't at all mentioned Paper Mario.
Holy shit, you're right. Paper Mario is an RPG masterpiece. To ignore it would be an absolute crime.
It's turn-based gameplay at its greatest.
I don't think it's that great.
What the fuck did you just say?
It's just a turn-based RPG. They're a dime a dozen.
I ought to punch you in your fucking face for saying that.
It may be a turn-based RPG, but it's one of the greatest ones of all time. The story and characters are full of charm. The badge system offers so many options for build variety, and the action commands in combat make the game so fucking fun.
Look, I was willing to concede that Superstar Saga was amazing, and that's because it was. But its use of action commands and combat options simply outclasses that of Paper Mario. Sure, the badge system of Paper Mario is creative and puts it above most turn-based RPGs, but the genre in itself is so mid and boring.
Your head is up your ass, Donald. Superstar Saga is amazing, but Paper Mario is just as amazing, if not more so. The badge system is iconic and gives it an extra level of depth that Superstar Saga doesn't achieve.
Whatever. Go ahead and put your mid-game wherever you want.
My only issue is that if I put it in S tier like it deserves, I can't put Thousand Year Door above it.
Fuck, that's true.
What should I do, Joe, both in S tier or Thousand Year Door in SS?
I don't really want to make an SS tier just for that one game. I guess we can put them both in S and just agree that Thousand Year Door is the better game.
Okay, I can live with that.
If you guys are so easy to appease, what do you think of Super Mario RPG? If Paper Mario is going in S tier, then that game deserves B tier.
Are you fucking kidding me? You shit on Paper Mario saying it's just another RPG, but you put the worst Mario RPG in B tier?
Look, I don't like Super Mario RPG that much, but it was innovative. Nintendo collaborating with Square to bring Mario into an RPG was a huge risk that paid off. The game was a huge move at the time, and thanks to having Square on the design team, the game at least had a more mature storyline than Paper Mario has.
You're off your fucking rocker, Donald. If any game we've talked about is mid, it's Super Mario RPG. It's the most generic game Mario has ever starred in. That shit cannot go in B tier.
I just think that if Paper Mario can go so high that Legend of the Seven Stars deserved a good spot too, I don't actually think the game is that great. I just think it's iconic.
I'm dropping it in C tier.
That's fine.
Joe, what do you think of the other Paper Mario games?
Oh, so now you're just cutting me out of the conversation? Fucking typical.
I just don't respect your opinions on this series.
I didn't think Super Paper Mario was that bad. It actually had some real gameplay to it.
Obviously worse than the first two games, but it's better than what we have in C tier.
Okay, I'll drop it in B.
But if either of you say that the Paper Mario games after that are anything but garbage, I'm fucking out of here.
Modern Paper Mario is a joke. I can agree with you there.
I thought Origami King was honestly decent.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Look, it's not as good as the first three, I know that. But I can't say it's as bad as Sticker Star or Color Splash. It shows that Intelligent Systems was trying to improve.
If Intelligent Systems was trying to improve, they'd bring back the style of the old games. Those games still weren't great, but at least they weren't dog shit like the last three.
It's true, Intelligent Systems is fucking over the fans by not bringing back the old RPG style.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it's unfair to put Origami King on the same level as Sticker Star. Hell, even Color Splash was better than that.
So what do you want? Sticker Star and Color Splash in F tier and Origami King in D?
No, Color Splash in D and Origami King in C.
This guy is a fucking clown on God.
I guess I can see the argument for wanting to separate them out.
Not you too, Barack. Come on, you're better than this.
I don't know if I like Origami King in C tier, but I'll put it there just so each game can have its own tier.
Thank you.
What's left, Barack?
Not a whole lot, just a lot of sequels that are similar to their predecessors.
Yeah, I feel like we've covered most of the games worth talking about.
You have any you want to mention that I haven't gotten to?
Nothing I can think of.
All right, I guess this is our list. Good job, fellas.